Mind me with the label, it feels on the table. One sign, but I'm down for a free lunch. Just speaking my heat, seeking missiles of hits. But other than me, I see no heat exist. Yo, gassed up, I'm about to go green. Go green, go green. Hulk smash if she know me. Know me, know me. Write it to life like I'm Stan Lee. Stan Lee, Stan Lee. If life's about to be a cold war, I'm the hero that they asked for. Green, green, green. I'm about to go green. I'm about to go green. I'm about to go green. Get the fuck back, I'm about to go green. I might begin making a feature a rack. Cause when I hit your beat, I turn shit to Iraq. Dropping bombs like I'm cursing you out. This your house, then I'm kicking you out. Quiet as a mouse, came in the game, not a word is out that I've been lighting the flame. Shit is potent, don't you know it? I've been flowing, steady growing till they know the name. Saw it ahead of time, knew that I'd get to my losing myself in the view to some window pane. I swear I'm all about peace, I'm a positive person. Wasn't always like that, you know it took me some learning. They asked me how I push a positive light, how I keep my composure through internal fights when addressing the mic through these dark nights. Where the Bruce Wayne, what a trick me. Here's some truth that I'll let free. Bruce Banner of rap if you ask me. When my will to win and the track meet, the secret is I'm always angry. Yo, gassed up, I'm about to go green. Go green, go green. Hulk smash if she know me. Know me, know me. Write it to life like I'm Stan Lee. Stan Lee, Stan Lee. If life's about to be a cold war, I'm the hero that they asked for. Green, green, green. I'm about to go green. I'm about to go green. I'm about to go green. Get the fuck back, I'm about to go green.
When they come, and they will, they'll come for you.
I have an army.
We have a Hulk.
Well, I thought the Beast had won it off.
You're missing the point. There's no throne. There is no version of this where you come out on top.
Let me infiltrate the beat, concentrate the heat. If you ain't on my level, fuck it, let me be. I'll be going till it's all in motion, talking killing rappers, then I hit my quota. And my train of thought is more a locomotive, talking reason for it, I got locomotives. Used to be on a revenge tip, on a stun on my ex in a France tip. I was Spider-Man whipping the black suit, I was powerful but almost lost Luke. Blurring the line between human and artist, try not to change but I swear it's the hardest. I swear when you're up they turn you to a target. Home was a trip, all I did when I'm talking. So, what it take to be an icon? All in your desktop, so I just might already be one. Mind me with the label, it feels on the table. One sign, but I'm down for a free lunch. Just speaking my heat, seeking missiles of hits. But other than me, I see no heat exist. Yo, gassed up, I'm about to go green. Go green, go green. Hulk smash if she know me. Know me, know me. Write it to life like I'm Stan Lee. Stan Lee, Stan Lee. If life's about to be a cold war, I'm the hero that they asked for. Green, green, green. I'm about to go green. I'm about to go green. I'm about to go green. Get the fuck back, I'm about to go green. I might begin making a feature a rack. Cause when I hit your beat, I turn shit to Iraq. Dropping bombs like I'm cursing you out. This your house, then I'm kicking you out. Quiet as a mouse, came in the game, not a word is out that I've been lighting the flame. Shit is potent, don't you know it? I've been flowing, steady growing till they know the name. Saw it ahead of time, knew that I'd get to my losing myself in the view to some window pane. I swear I'm all about peace, I'm a positive person. Wasn't always like that, you know it took me some learning. They asked me how I push a positive light, how I keep my composure through internal fights when addressing the mic through these dark nights. Where the Bruce Wayne, what a trick me. Here's some truth that I'll let free. Bruce Banner of rap if you ask me. When my will to win and the track meet, the secret is I'm always angry. Yo, gassed up, I'm about to go green. Go green, go green. Hulk smash if she know me. Know me, know me. Write it to life like I'm Stan Lee. Stan Lee, Stan Lee. If life's about to be a cold war, I'm the hero that they asked for. Green, green, green. I'm about to go green,
y'all. I'm about to go green. Thank you guys for being here tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you. It's been a busy day in sports. I don't know if you guys know about it, but we're here to talk about it. So you guys know the deal, the format of the show. You tell me what's going on. I'm going to tell you what's going on, and then you guys ask me questions. That's just how it's done. When you guys ask me the questions, I answer them to the best of my ability because your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Now, I'm also going to tell you guys right now, as I talk in length, I realize there's a bunch of people waiting in the chat and a bunch of questions are there. Be patient. Don't repeat them. Just wait patiently. I will get to your stuff, okay? I did not make an announcement on TikTok about the show tonight, so our numbers might be down. Bothers me none. I don't care. Makes the show easier for me. But over time, people will realize that we're not live streaming on TikTok anymore. We are just doing it on YouTube. We don't need the bans. We don't need the suspensions. We don't need the drama. We don't need the hype. All we need is, what we're doing here. So without further ado, I'm going to start talking about sports. You guys get your questions in. I will answer them when I get to them. If you have any comments about what I'm talking about, please write your comments in its entirety. Right? If you write, man, that's crazy, I have no idea what you're saying by the time I get to it. I think they're going to win. Who the hell is they? Explain who they are. So things like that. Hey, just so you know, I just got a haircut, by the way. I was washing my hair out. You know how that goes, guys. But I only have 2 shows this week, today and tomorrow, because I'll be on vacation with the beautiful Miss Kim Jones from Wednesday through Sunday, taking some time to unwind and relax. It'll be my last days off before the football season. And obviously, once we hit football season, I take 0 days off. So, got to take a vacation right before we start. I'm going to be all over the place. We're going to do some fun things in a couple of cities. But shout out to me. Shout out to Kim Jones. We're going to do our thing. And thank you guys for being patient with us. I'll still post videos on TikTok from time to time. Not nearly as consistent as usual, but we'll make it happen. All right, guys, without further ado, let's rock. What is trending today? So today, story comes out on ESPN, major news, because it's one of those stories where everybody knows the movie, right? The Blind Side, Michael Orr. If you don't remember the movie, I'll recap very, very quickly. They project him to be a terrible athlete, a bad player, and he goes to be a part of the family. And they go ahead and take care of this underprivileged black kid, and they make him great. Now, they're a wealthy Mississippi family. They're alumni from Ole Miss, and they convince this young man to go to Ole Miss. Now, if you ask me, I always thought it was a little shady. When a family's taking care of a player, there's always a hidden agenda. Well, we want him to go to this school. We want him to commit here. But at the end of the day, the nobility and the ability and willingness to take an underprivileged kid into your home should always be applauded. I want to say this. If you don't have families doing this, you're never going to really get there, right? Like, Tez Johnson is currently a wide receiver at Oregon, playing with Bo Nix, and he's Bo Nix's adopted brother. And Tez lived with that family his final 2 years of high school, and they played great in high school, and he parlayed that into a career at Troy initially. Right? He didn't get into Auburn like Bo did. He went to Troy, the smaller school, and then he eventually transferred to Oregon. Great job, but that's happening. Now listen, there are thousands upon thousands of athletes being raised by somebody else that aren't their parents, whether that be a grandparent or that be anybody else. So providing children, high school age children, with a stable foundation, you know, I remember seeing this. These guys write in the comments all the time. These guys write things like, Rico, why can't these players just act right? Why don't they just appreciate their free education, man? I would never blow this. You could just go to school, get your degree, and you'll have a good life. Da, da, da. And I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, well, why would they mess up this opportunity? You're in such great shape, and they're such great athletes. How do they not have grades? I'm like, what? Do you know where they live? Do you know what environment they live in? Their mom's a hoe. Like, their mom's out there sleeping for money. Dad's never been around. Their dad's a real-life pimp and used to smack mom around. There's nowhere to do their homework. Parents are strung out on drugs. Parents are selling their school supplies to get another hit. What are you talking about? Like, people don't quite grasp certain situations you come from and you have to overcome to be great in this world. And there are certain children growing up in homes where it's not safe to go home. You know, I grew up, we used to have free lunch at school. Free lunch and free breakfast. Because we were a little poorer than everybody else. And that's what we had. And when we went to high school, I remember my father used to drop me off at high school at 6 a.m. because he was a construction worker. And he was going to work construction. Who knows where he went to work? But Dad would drop us off at 6 a.m. My twin brother and I sat at these lunch tables for 2 hours while all the rich kids pulled up in their Honda, their Acura Integras and Honda Accords and Lexus and Mustangs. And we just sat there because we got dropped off early in the morning by our father, who drove a B2500 Mazda pickup truck with a king cab, and he carried all his own tools. And you know what? He would go to work, and when he got off of work, he'd come by the school and pick us up. And some days it would be 3, some days it would be 5. Some days it would be later. But that was the life we lived. I remember I went to a very hood high school initially, my first 2 years. And then we transferred to somewhere else. But when you don't have these opportunities and somebody else provides it for you, well, that's a pretty remarkable thing. So shout out to the Tuohys for taking Michael Orr under their wing and raising him within their home and giving him a stable environment. I'm with it. Where I'm not with it is after the age of 18, he's signing financial conservatorship, so you get the book deal, the money deal, the TV deal. Now we got a damn problem, right? At some point, you can't have anything, like you can't have a hidden agenda when you're trying to help these young men. Trying to help these kids. I did a post about this earlier today. I talked about Chris Henry. Chris Henry passed away. His son, Chris Henry Jr., is adopted by Pac-Man Jones. Pac-Man Jones has no financial agenda here. He's trying to help an old teammate and his late son. You know, he's trying to help his son. So he said, hey, you, your mom, your sister, your brother, all you guys move into my house. I'd imagine Pac-Man Jones has a nice home. Played a number of years in the NFL after he got over the suspensions and everything else. But the point is he went out and got custody. At no point do I envision Pac-Man Jones saying we need financial conservatorship. Financial conservatorship means, hey, I'm in charge of your money. Shout out to Britney Spears. But I want to tell you guys that Michael Orr is signing over the movie proceeds. I read somewhere he did get a lump sum from the movie. He might have gotten that initial lump sum split 5 ways 5 ways with the 2 kids and the 2 parents and him, which sounds fair because that's what they signed for. I think it was $300,000 split 5 ways. Cool, whatever. But what about the rest? What about the 2.5% from the proceeds? 2.5% royalty revenues. If that's only going to the family, Michael Orr, get an attorney and figure it out. Now, do I think these people should be dragged through the mud for this? Not necessarily. Once again, if you're providing kids with a place to live and grow up, which I know a lot of people are in this world, more power to you. And if you're doing it for people that aren't your kids, you know, there's aunts and uncles raising kids right now, and they have financial conservatorship of those kids. And in my experience, when you start getting like survivor benefits, a paycheck, and things of this nature, typically it just compensates for what you're paying for, right? It covers the food and maybe the sports travel and whatever. But at the end of the day, if they did this with ill intent, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. It's not good. It's distasteful. How dare you? It ruins a movie. You know, I watched Remember the Titans. You guys know the movie Remember the Titans? I watched Remember the Titans. And I got really into it. And I loved it. And I thought, man, this movie's great. I love Remember the Titans. Guys, today I will not watch Remember the Titans. I do not like that movie. And that's because I went and looked it up. And I found out that Gary Burchard, the white guy who's leading the defense, and, you know, there's a white guy and a black guy, team captains, my side, strong side, your side, strong side, all this shit. Yeah, they show you he gets injured in a car accident. And they have to play the rest of the season, the championship games, without him. And then at the end of the movie, they tell you he was handicapped, and he ended up still going to the Olympics with the shot put, and he did the Paralympic Games, and he was a gold medalist and all this stuff. Turns out the car accident was before the season even started. He never even played with the integrated team. They made all that shit up for the movie. In real life, he never played in the integrated season. The whole thing's made up. And that's when I learned about movies that are, quote-unquote, inspired by a true story or based on a true story. They're still fabrications for Hollywood. But that's one movie where I went and I said, wait, the whole damn movie's about these 2 dudes and how they brought it together. This is not true. It's crazy. Nonetheless, here, if these guys did it, if they ripped them off, now, there's another thing I'll say. Attorneys can advise you to do certain things, but at some point you got to recognize, hey, man, we're getting all this money, and he's not getting any. I don't know if Michael Orr is broke or not, but he said he finally retired, and then he could look into it. More power to him. I wouldn't wait to look into it. I wouldn't wait this many years. It sucks. I don't know how you go about getting all your money back or how you go about getting the royalties you're missing. You can sue the family like he's doing, but if they already spent the money, then you're just SOL. We'll see what happens. But at the end of the day, the Tuohy's name will now be kind of tarnished. That's a bad deal. Hey, on a much lighter note, Deuce is loose. Who saw Deuce Vaughn? Who saw Deuce Vaughn making people look silly? And all you guys saying, well, Rico, he did it to backups. No. He did it to NFL football players. He did it to everybody in the Big 12. He did it to Alabama. He did it to anyone he ever stepped on the field with. If you got on the field with Deuce, you got smoked. This man is a problem. Anybody out there ever played linebacker? Anybody? You know, when I was in high school, I was primarily a corner and a wide receiver and a free safety my senior year. But I want to tell you, I did play linebacker at some point in my life. And if you got a running back and you can't see them until you're even because they're so damn small, you don't know where he's at, you're done. You're done. You'll never tackle that guy. He's gone. I love everything about Deuce Vaughn. I don't want to hear about durability concerns. I don't want to hear it. Somebody said, oh, he's like a baby Barry Sanders. No, he's like Barry Sanders, bro. His moves are embarrassing people. He is must-see TV. Turn on the TV. That little hamster is killing it. Deuce Vaughn. Now, they're telling me before the game, they're like, you know, he might not make the team. He might not make the final 53. They might have to release him and put him on the practice squad. Stop right there. If they release Deuce Vaughn, someone's going to sign him to the active squad. Okay, not the practice squad, the active squad. Remember, when you get released in the NFL, if you're a new player, you hit the waiver wire. And if you guys aren't familiar with the waiver, I don't want to insult anybody, so I'll break it down for you. The waiver wire is in order by your draft position in the offseason. It changes during the regular season, just so you guys know. But the waiver wire is the worst team to the best team. So the Chiefs are dead last in the waiver wire priority. It's called the waiver priority. If you've done fantasy football, you know this. So you got the waiver wire going. You release a player. Every single team gets to look at the list and go, they get to say whether or not they want him. Go all the way down, and then once all the teams say, no, we don't want him, then he's a free agent, and you can re-sign him to your practice squad. So usually this happened. I talked about this about a week ago. A player got cut from the Colts, and the Colts wanted to sign him, linebacker out of Miami of Ohio. Colts wanted to sign him, and after they cut him, they were waiting for him to clear waivers, and then the Colts would assign him to the practice squad. They really liked the kid, but they couldn't fit him on their final 53, so they said, yeah, we'll just cut him. He'll clear waivers, and then he'll be on the practice squad the next day. Nope. Next day, they found out, oh, snap, the Bears claimed him off the waiver wire. He's now a Bear. You cannot release Deuce. You can't, bro. Someone is going to sign this man. He is Barry Sanders. I'm telling you, he's got everybody on skates. Everybody. It's remarkable. You want to talk about somebody out there playing over their head, above their level? What up to Aiden O'Connell? I told you guys Aiden O'Connell's going to be great. I told you I assessed him before the draft, looked at all his tape and his film, and what I saw was a quarterback who knows where to go with the football. I saw a guy who's not rattled, who overachieved in the Big Ten against NFL corners. I want you to think of all the corners in the NFL or in the Big Ten that got drafted. All the secondary guys. Think of it: Joey Porter and Jair, Iowa, Riley, Moss, the two Maryland guys. I'm missing some. Who am I missing? Oh, the Illinois secondary. Like, it's a who's who when it comes to secondary players in the Big Ten. And Aiden O'Connell went out there and carved them up and he made Charlie Jones look like a draft pick. You know what I'm saying? Zeke just signed with the Pats. Did that just happen? Are we missing it? That's breaking news. I don't have it in front of me. I got to go make a video on it. That's bananas. But Aiden O'Connell is him. Now, Aiden O'Connell is still third string on the Raiders. I want to make sure everybody understands this. Aiden O'Connell is still third string on the Raiders. He's behind Brian Hoyer, which I find to be hilarious. How is Brian Hoyer still employed in the NFL? I'll never know. Whoever I'm guessing Brian Hoyer has pictures of somebody doing something illegal, and that's how he keeps his jobs. Because he hasn't won a game. You guys ready for this? Brian Hoyer is a journeyman, and he starts games here and there. He hasn't won a game since 2015. 2015. Brian Hoyer has not won a game since 2015. Remember, he was at Michigan State before the almighty quarterback room of, who was it? It was Kirk Cousins, Nick Foles, Brian Hoyer, and then Connor Cook was after them. But Kirk Cousins, Nick Foles, and Brian, they were all in the same quarterback room. Nick Foles transferred out. Kirk Cousins, the alpha male, went ahead and won the job and played great the next couple years. Yeah, shout out to Michigan State for getting a ton of quarterbacks in their program. They don't get them like that anymore. They don't. I'm excited for Aiden O'Connell. I hope he makes the active roster, and he does great things. You want to talk about doing great things, making the active roster? Elijah Dotson. Now, everybody's talking about Elijah Dotson. 2-touchdown game, broke out. He's fast as hell. He's great. Guys, Elijah Dotson, he played at Northern Colorado last year, FCS, went undrafted. The Chargers saw how great he was in that first game. They went ahead and cut their boy Roundtree right here. Missouri running back Roundtree, 6th-round draft pick, just from 2021. Gone. Just got rid of him. Boom. We saw enough. Elijah Dotson's going to make the team. Now, Dotson's the 4th running back on the roster. But Dotson was actually at Sacramento State as a running back. And he played there for 3 years. And then his 4th year, he played in 4 games. And he said, nah, I'm going to redshirt. I don't want to waste this last year of eligibility. I'm redshirting. And he redshirted and he hit the transfer portal. And I thought he was going to go to the FBS. I thought he was going to get an opportunity to go be great. Instead, he went to Northern Colorado, still balled out, went to go play for the McCaffreys, right? Ed McCaffrey. And with his son as the quarterback, they had a terrible season, but he rushed for over 900 yards. So you do your damn thing, and now you're in the preseason, and you're about to make an NFL team. Undrafted free agent making an NFL team. This is why running backs don't get paid. You can find an undrafted free agent and get it done. Sorry, guys, I'm on a flavored water tip. So shout out to Elijah Dotson. I think he makes the team. Obviously, releasing Roundtree is a problem. Hey, how about Trey Lance? Complete bust, bro. One of the worst busts of all time. And the reason I say this is the amount of stuff they gave up to get Trey Lance. Go look it up one day. Go look up how much they gave up to get this 3rd-string quarterback. He is nothing. He is absolutely off rhythm, out of control, terrible. It's been a couple years now. This man can't play football, can't play at an NFL level. I want to see him in the XFL. I want to see him get a chance to do something in the XFL. Don't want to see him in the NFL. He's atrocious. There were so many plays yesterday. He didn't hit the right guy. He just held on to the ball too long, got sacked. It's embarrassing. Terrible player. And then what a marked difference when Sam Darnold gets in the game. Sam Darnold gets in and just looks like – and Sam Darnold has the biggest head you've ever seen, guys. Okay, pause. He's got an enormous cranium. Gets out there, it's like he's chewing on stuff, and he just guns it everywhere. He's just ripping it, bro. Just a different energy level. I love everything he's doing. I love it all. Can't wait. Hey, so that's a bust. That's a bust. Trey Lance, 3rd overall pick, complete bust. You want to see another bust nobody wants to talk about? Kicker Jake Moody, bro. Jake Moody missed 2 field goals. Now, let's be real. He missed a 58-yarder, and he missed another one. I forgot what the other one was. It doesn't say the distance in here, I'm sure. But he did miss the second one. That was 58 yards. But you missed 2 field goals as a kicker in the preseason. Probably not a big deal. You're just going to get cut and not make it, right? You're a rookie. You missed 2 field goals. No, he's going to make it because he's a 3rd-round draft pick. They drafted this kicker in the 3rd round. Do you guys understand that? The 3rd round. Jake Moody gets drafted in the 3rd round. Who are you, 49ers? Who are you? You're so good, the only position of need is kicker? We don't draft kickers. You can find a kicker off the street. Shout out to Brett Maher. Like, you can find kickers anywhere. This guy, Jake Moody, goes out there and misses 2 field goals. And Coach Shanahan says, wow, he makes a lot at practice. Yeah, bro, he makes a lot at practice. You guys ever seen one of those people, superstar at practice? It's really hard to make kicks, bro. It's really hard to make kicks in the NFL when you got one hand wrapped around your throat. This guy is choking everywhere. The worst. Jake Moody, 3rd-round draft pick. I never seen such a thing. Hey, shout out to Coach Prime. This guy, I want to talk about Rexwell Vias talking about Colorado, and he said Colorado football transfers drop honest take on Coach Prime amid lofty expectations for 2023 campaign. Number one, what are the lofty expectations and who's putting them on anybody? I don't know of any lofty expectations. But more importantly, I read the story, and he starts saying, Jordan Dominic, by the way, transfer, Mr. 7.5 sacks last year in the SEC. But he says, it does the quote, and then he says, Dominic, who played 4 seasons with Georgia Tech before transferring to Colorado football. You guys, this isn't true. He was at Arkansas last year, and he had 7.5 sacks in the SEC, good enough for 3rd in the SEC. Come on, man. He wasn't at Georgia Tech last year. These people don't even fact-check themselves. They just write shit. They don't even know who the kids are. They don't even know who the kids are. It's disgusting. They just go and quote 3 kids, 3 players, and then they just write random stuff. Be afraid. Hey, be ashamed. Clutch Points. Who are you paying? I'll write your stories for you, Clutch. I know them better than you do. So there's 3 brand new rules in the UFC. 3 rules. Here they are, guys. From now on, if you get a cut, they can work on your cut mid-round. They can work on your cut and try to take care of it as best they can. They'll call in the cut guy, blah, blah, blah. Another thing, if you get poked in the eye, they'll give you a cold compress. Cold compress. It's just so while you're waiting on your 5 minutes to see if your eye's okay. We've seen some pretty gnarly eye pokes. Good for them. The 3rd rule change will allow referees greater discretion to change things when a contest is stalling. Let me tell you guys, when they're stalling, the refs don't even know what's going on. They're not fighters. The refs don't even know when they're in position. Sometimes I'll see the ref just stand them up because they don't even realize there's a submission going on. They're the worst. They try to avoid losing, right? Or try to win by avoid losing. They want to stop stalling. These refs are going to look at them and go, "Oh, you're in the guard. Stand up. It's not a boxing match. Stand up." They don't know what they're doing. Let's talk about it. Oh, we don't need to talk about ESPN. Let's get rid of that. Preseason poll came out. Hey, and a quick shout out to Division 2. Division 2 poll came out over here on the far right. I want to tell you guys, there are some really good players. I just want to know who gave Benedict College a first-place vote. It's 17th in the polls, but Benedict College got a first-place vote. I would love to know why and how. I want to know what that's about. Shout out to West Florida for having the best quarterback in the FCS. Or I'm sorry, in Division 2. Here's the FCS poll. Pretty good stuff. But here we go. The preseason poll, my biggest problem, whoever the hell's voting for these teams down here. I want to give you guys an example. The AP poll, for whatever reason, doesn't have a single vote for Fresno State. Nobody put Fresno State in their top 25 in the AP poll. But the coaches poll, Fresno State's got 19 votes. 19 points. That means it's in a lot of people's polls. It's crazy. It boggles my mind. The coaches be voting on some craziness. You see Florida here with 63? That's crazy. The coaches do some ridiculous voting. When you look at the AP poll, Florida's got 4. Florida's got 63. They almost made the top 25 in the coaches poll. You tell me how loyal they are to Florida. Florida's an atrocious team. And they almost made it. And let's call it like we see it. South Alabama, 1 vote. Just wait till South Alabama wins 10 games this year. Wait till South Alabama wins 10 games this year. Rico knows, Rico knows, Rico knows. That's all I can tell you guys. Hey, shout out to James Harden. This guy's the biggest baby you've ever seen in your life. Let me tell you guys something. James Harden is the only guy that we give a pass to for being an absolute quitter. He quit on his team. Well, besides Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson, because they both quit on their teams too. I don't give them a pass either. But James Harden, remember when he ate his way out of Houston when he didn't want to be there anymore, so he just got fat, showed up out of shape, and was like, just trade me, just trade me, just trade me. Didn't like where he was at in New Jersey. Just trade me. Just trade me. Now you're with Joel Embiid. Not good enough. You want out? Trade me. Trade me. Here's the problem, bro. The common denominator with all this is James Harden being absolutely terrible as a teammate, irrelevant in the playoffs. You're not going to win anything. He just wants a max contract, and he couldn't get one from Daryl Morey. Now, look, Daryl Morey's not a bad guy. You know how great Daryl Morey is? Daryl Morey is the reason that James Harden is even in Philly, because he believes in him, because he's a fan of him. Look, this says James Harden changed my life. Daryl Morey wrote this back in 2020. He bought an entire page in the Houston Chronicle? He bought an entire page in the newspaper in Houston to say farewell, goodbye, I'm leaving. He was leaving his job, moving on, and he told the world, James Harden changed my life. James Harden's one of my best friends. They love each other. They're thick as thieves. James Harden came over to Houston because of Daryl Morey. He's the reason he came. And he's the reason he went to Philly. And now he's saying he's got a problem with him. Now he's got beef with him. He just wants a way out, and he'll say anything to ruin somebody. Let me tell you how great Daryl Morey is as a GM, though. Daryl Morey ruined the NBA in China. Remember when China was going over there, NBA was going to China, and Daryl Morey talked about the Hong Kong situation? China got so upset, they demanded the NBA fire Daryl Morey, and the NBA wouldn't. Now, they still bent the knee and proved themselves to be in bed with China, which I still can't get over. It's highly political. I won't even go there. But shout out to Daryl Morey. I hope he's more valuable to Philly than this dude. This dude right here is on his last leg. This dude's on his way out. I think he's terrible nowadays. I can't even deal with him. But it is what it is. That's all that's trending today. It's a whole lot. Went as fast as I could. We got done in 30 minutes, like I always try to. What do you guys want to talk about? Let's go. Shout out to the chat. What's up, Rico? I guess the NCAA investigator was on the right path as I'm assuming that meant to say the Toolies. The Toolies, right? Michael Orr, the Toolies. Toolies' real interest. Hope he gets his fair share. Yeah, it sounds like he only missed out on the royalties from the movie. That's it. It's not a big deal. Did the chat restart? Was first earlier. Shout out to you, Connor. I have no clue. It is what it is. Did you see that James Harden quote? The James Harden quote, I just talked about it. Yeah, he's nuts. Lewis Henson, what up, brother? Hey, peace. Miles Farmer to Syracuse. I think it's a good choice for him. What are your thoughts, Rico? Shout out to him. If you guys don't know, Miles Farmer is the player that got kicked off of Nebraska. He was suspended from Nebraska, had a DUI last November, and now he's going to Syracuse, go play for Dino Babers, and that might be Dino's last year. He needs to get some type of wins going on. Miles Farmer, not a bad player. Go to Syracuse. They get NFL players. I'm writing it down because I got to make a video on it. Thank you for the heads up. The other one I got to make a video on is Zeke to Patriots. Got it. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Welcome in 12 days to college football. Hit the like and subscribe button. Check out ricoknows.org for your merch needs. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're doing custom shirts. I actually left one. Give me a second here. Left one in the car. But ricoknows.org is a real thing. And we got our own website. And do you want to see a dead body? There you go. Rico knows. Shout out to you guys for purchasing them. Shout out to everybody for supporting the channel and our movement. I appreciate it. Can't wait to see some of you guys out in public rocking one of the shirts. Shout out to you, Max Air Jordan. What up? Who do you believe is the best corner in the NFL? Connor, the best corner in the NFL? You're not going to like my answer, but I believe it's Diggs. I really do. Which team has been the worst at drafting in the 2020s? Who? So far, the Chiefs. I'd have to go back. I want to say the Chiefs, but it could be somebody worse. I know everyone's going, what are you talking about? The Chiefs, they got Isaiah in the 7th round. No, just listen to me. USC's record. USC's record next year? Is that what you're asking? USC's record? I think they win a lot of games. My guy, Rico, hope you're having an awesome day, spreading positivity. Thank you, Corey, always doing that. I appreciate you, brother. Swamp says, Rico, so nice they had to say it twice. What up, girl? My bad. What up, dude? Have a wonderful Monday, my friend. Good job on the channel. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for being here and supporting it. Can you further explain what your plan is for your Twitter once the season starts? What content will we see on there? Nothing more than just my thoughts during the games, Connor. I'm not a big Twitter guy. I don't even have it in my phone. I only have it on my desktop, and I have it up on the other monitor while I'm watching games. And I'm just going to write random comments here and there. I'm not a very active Twitter guy. It's just not for me. I'm so busy with TikTok. Which ACC secondary should to be the best this season? First thing that comes to mind is Miami. Miami secondary is great. In the ACC, let me think them through. Boston College has a great coach in Helfrey. He can coach them up. Pitt, no. Syracuse, no. North Carolina, no. And I love Elijah Huzzy. Virginia Tech, very slow secondary. No. Virginia, nope. Even did they get Cam Kelly or did he leave? I think Cam Kelly ended up at Penn State. Clemson. I'm going to go with Miami. Deuce is nice, yes. Did the Orr lawsuit coincide with a book release? Free promotion, just slightly skeptical of things I've seen in my lifetime. I don't know, Steve, but it sounds about right. He's like Barry Sanders. I know. Who do you think will be the Eagles' leading rusher this season? I don't have a damn clue. I don't have a clue. Jalen Hurts. Witherspoon, right, Illinois. Zeke just signed with the Pats, so Deuce is there for sure. Yeah, Deuce wasn't the threat to Zeke, though. Zeke wasn't a threat to Deuce. A.T. Perry looked great. Yeah, A.T. Perry had a nice catch. Nice touchdown grab. He did look good. Shout out to you, Gimp Show. Yep, he did. Spartan legend Brian Hoyer, Drew Stanton, and Kirk Cousins. Look at that. Did I miss Drew Stanton? I did. I went to Connor Cook. Too far ahead. Hoyer has pics of that Jets quarterback with Roger. Tim Boyle. Tim Boyle, preseason great. He had another touchdown this week, and he looked good. Hoyer has a Daniel Snyder briefcase on someone. There you go. Sup, Rico? What up, Matt? Appreciate you, man. What was your assessment of Trey coming out of college, Trey Lance? Because just by the numbers, he seemed to have a good junior year, but I want to know what you saw on film. So what I saw on film, Meta, is really important that people understand. I care about production, and I really care about how well you play in your final season. I don't anoint anyone. So whenever people ask me who's getting drafted first next year, I don't say anything because I want to see how they play this year. Right? Everybody's already decided. Drake May, so-and-so, Caleb Williams, all this, and I'm just like, I got to see them play this year. And unfortunately for Trey Lance, his final year, there was nothing to see play. He didn't play. So how do you assess him? Right? If I don't see you play your final year, I don't know how well you're going to be. Thoughts on Grant Cohn's comments about Kyle Shanahan sabotaging Trey Lance? So I didn't see Grant Cohn's comments, but the inability to process and develop is not on your coach. It's on you as a player. And I want to say this to everybody. I believe 90%, 80% of player development that all these coaches get credit for, I believe it's really on the player. Like, you as a player have to be willing to lift weights, study film, become immersed, get immersion. Like, you have to be obsessed with succeeding. You cannot blame the coach. And we give the coaches too much credit. What I think, when you see player development and coaches who develop players really well, what I think we're misunderstanding is they have a certain amount of drive and determination, and you want to find players that are self-driven. So if you only draft or recruit self-driven players, then you're more likely to look like you're developing them. I'm in the Army. I'm a senior leader in the Army, and the easiest soldiers for me to lead are the ones who want to be led. I have these guys who show up and they score 300 on their PT scores. They're phenomenal shape. We get off of work. They go work out like crazy. They show up every morning ready to do their job and work, and they studied all night, and they did their college classes, and everybody always comes to me and they're like, hey, Rico, you got this guy. He's the soldier of the year. He's the NCO of the year. How'd you do it? And because I was the soldier of the year, they all assume I'm giving them the keys to the castle. And it's like, yeah, I know how to develop these young men. I know what to say to them to keep them motivated. But I'm not doing any of the reps. I'm not doing any of the lifts or the rucks or the miles. They're doing it themselves. The easiest person to lead is somebody who's self-driven. And it makes you look great. You're riding a winning horse, right? So I'd imagine many of my leaders when I was younger were getting a ton of accolades based upon my ability, my dedication to the profession, and my willingness to put in the work. When I see these other guys, if you see a guy get off of practice and you go check his Instagram and he's at a party and he's at a girl's doing this and doing that and they're making TikTok videos and they're hanging out and they're being normal people, that's cool. You're just not obsessed with the journey and the process. There are people, like when you read Travis Hunter and he says, look, man, I ain't been on campus yet. I ain't even been on Colorado's campus. I go to practice, I work hard, I grind, and this is what I do. It's professionalism. And I think a lot of players struggle with that. I don't know if Trey Lance has been immersed in professionalism and development. We know Kyle Shanahan knows how to do it. We know Kyle Shanahan gets a lot of credit for the development of players, but I think it's on the players to be obsessed with their success. And I don't see that from Trey Lance. Or else we'd see a marked improvement. We would see somebody who could process everything and do everything. And if you can't, then you just don't belong in the NFL, which I'll buy. It happens all the time. He's not the only one. Moody was so good at Michigan, he will be fine, but third round is crazy. Third round's insane. Third round for a kicker, Tank Dell went in the third round. Tank Dell went in the third round. And you're taking a kicker? Raiders took Janikowski in the first round. This is true. Here's the difference. We know that fact till this day because it was such a ridiculous draft pick. It is the answer to a trivia question. And Janikowski had one of the greatest long careers of a kicker. He had the biggest leg of anybody. No one really even questioned it. We just made fun of it and talk about it till this day. It's somewhat infamous, right? It's infamy. You don't want to be that franchise. You don't go take a kicker in the third round. There's no point. Nah. Michigan getting 2 total votes in both polls is insane to me. Michigan did not get 2 total votes. Michigan got 2 first-place votes. It's way different. Michigan was second, firmly in second on both polls. That shouldn't be insane to you. How many draft picks will be given up by trading for James Harden by the end of his career? I have no clue, but I wouldn't trade a single one. And in the NBA, draft picks are not really currency. Draft picks are just things they want to get rid of because they don't want to have to sign players to they don't want to have to draft people in the second round. They don't want to have to pay players at all. They know most guys in the draft can't make their team anyway, so they just trade away picks all the time. And that's why it says conditional unless it's a lottery pick. Then they don't want to give it up because they're hoping they can get a guy in the top 13 that can make their team. Who is the top incoming freshman from this cycle you see hitting the transfer portal next cycle? I'm going to say Rashada, the quarterback at Arizona State. I'm going to say players like that. Simmons. There's a bunch of quarterbacks that are going to transfer because they're not going to be in the 2 deep. They were sold a bag of goods that isn't going to work out for them. So, yeah, give me quarterbacks that we're signing. Give me Rashada. TikTok doesn't know, but I do, of course. Do you think Zach Evans can win the running back number 1 job in L.A.? No, I actually don't think he's trying to win it. I don't think they're even giving him an opportunity to win it. I think he's just trying to get the 3rd spot at L.A. I think he's going to be running back number 3. What up, Rico? Blessings, brothers. Thank you, Jared. Hey, I appreciate the tip, Jared. For every single time I get one, man. Thank you so much. Rico, my G. What up, Black Monies? Black Moans. Do you think NIL will bring parity to college football? Al Green, I don't think NIL is bringing parity to college football. What will bring parity to college football is the transfer portal. The transfer portal, not NIL. NIL actually consolidates players to certain teams because of their revenue, which is what we've been dealing with recruiting budgets as well, right? NIL and recruiting budgets, one and the same. You're now getting a bunch of money, giving it to the kids. Recruiting budgets used to enable you to travel around the country and get all the best players. Still the same concept. What is the equalizer is when you get all those best players, you sign 25 guys every year, and 10 of them don't make the 2 deep, they hit the portal. They spread their talent elsewhere. Now, these young men, these young kids, they're messing up. Because when they hit the portal, they're going Power 5 to Power 5. They're not even trying to find playing time at another school. They just go to a school they're used to or they're comfortable with because that's the same thing that recruited them out of high school. I'll give you an example. You, coming out of high school, were getting recruited by Georgia, Alabama, and Clemson. So you pick one of those schools, and you don't make the two deep. And after 2 years, you get up and you hit the transfer portal. Where do you go? Oh, you just go to Alabama or Georgia. And you think you're going to get more playing time, so you just go to another Power 5 school, LSU, Ole Miss. It doesn't make any sense. Go find a school with a depth chart that's conducive to you seeing the field and dial it back a bit. Be realistic, but they don't ever do that. And a lot of it has to do with them getting poor advice. I can tell you, I know about the quarterback. I know a quarterback who transferred out of the ACC, and he was trying to go, and he had offers from South Alabama. He had offers from Western Kentucky, and he could have been at any one of those schools, sat out this year, and then been the starter next year. And instead, right before he was going to sign with South Alabama or Western Kentucky, he got a phone call from Ole Miss. And he bit hook, line, and sinker and said, I'm going to go play for Ole Miss. I'm going to go play for Ole Miss. And I talked to his father, and I said, dude, don't do it, man. Ole Miss does not care about your son. They're just going to recruit more players and more players and more players. And you guys, they signed 2 more quarterbacks after that. And this kid never got his scholarship to Ole Miss. And by the time he tried to be like, oh, my bad, Ole Miss, I guess I'm not going. South Alabama, Western Kentucky, they gave up their scholarship offers. They didn't have them anymore. Those spots got filled by a different position group. And then now this kid's at a junior college. All because he listened to Ole Miss for about 2 months, thinking that Charlie Weiss Jr. wanted him, thinking that Lane Kiffin wanted him. For about 2 months, he believed them and said, yeah, I'm going to go there, I'm going to go there, I'm going to go there. And now he's at a junior college. You can't believe the pipe dream these Power 5 coaches are selling you. You just can't. And I wish the kids were more informed and got better advice. And even after I told his father that, you don't want to know how that phone conversation went. It was crickets, bro. He didn't even hear me. They weren't even listening to me. I was like, you need to call back Western Kentucky. You need to call back South Alabama and go. Those are so much better options. Nobody listened to me. And he still went through the JUCO route. And I wish him the best. But I need you guys to understand. Like, if you had real advisement from somebody who really cared about it, I would advise you like you wouldn't believe. Just saying. 1 out of 10, how excited for Buffs versus TCU? A full-blown 10. I'm excited to see Colorado go out there and put up some points. And how can schools pick up the transfer portal still? First, isn't there a deadline? 2, how do they have athletic scholarships left? So, Black Moans, number 1, the transfer portal window, it only pertains to underclassmen who want to be eligible this year. So you can listen, you have every right to transfer whenever you want. If you don't like it here, you can leave. That's what they're saying. You don't like it here, you can leave, and you can enter the transfer portal whenever you want. But if you enter outside of these windows, you will not be granted immediate eligibility to play football this year, meaning you got to sit out the year. So if you already had a red shirt, you don't care. If you got a red shirt available, you'll leave when you want to leave. Roll out. You're not going to play this year. You're going to red shirt it anyways. Cool. Now, that does not pertain to graduate transfers. If you have your degree and you graduated from your university, you can hit the portal whenever you want. So when you hear about a kid entering the transfer portal right now, today, tomorrow, whatever, first thing you got to check is, did he already graduate? If he already graduated, that dude can play somewhere else right now if he wants to. If he hasn't graduated and it's his first transfer, he'll have to wait till the next portal window opens before he can start talking to other teams. But he doesn't have to stay at that school. No one's forcing you to stay at a school you don't want to be at. So sometimes when they say they're entering the transfer portal, they're actually not. They're just not enrolling at that school anymore. And they got to wait. Happens all the time, especially this time of year. They'll announce it. They'll be like, my recruitment's 100% open. No, it's not. Your recruitment is not 100% open. You're going to wait till December 5th, and then the portal opens, and then you'll be in it. And then you'll get a signing. Or you could have a third party negotiate it, right? Like your high school coach, a family friend, whoever. Somebody can start talking to schools on your behalf, but you yourself cannot be talking to schools. That's tampering. Just so we're clear. But yeah, anybody can enter the transfer portal. There's no real deadline. Now, how do they have scholarships available? A couple ways. The incoming class could have injuries. They could have academic failures. and they don't count against your scholarships until the next year. You can gray shirt. They won't count against your scholarships until next year. Meaning you have 25 kids coming into the school. You can tell one of the kids, hey, you're not going to practice or be on the team until January. You can sit out this year. And the kid, if he's willing to do it, will gray shirt because he's at his dream school, and he'll just go to class. He won't even be at practice, nothing. He's not a part of the football team until January. So he doesn't count against the scholarships that year, this calendar year, right? It's a sleight of hand. It's what Alabama did for many years. Now most people don't try to do it because if you try to gray shirt a kid, he'll transfer. You're not giving my scholarship. You're not because you don't have a scholarship. You're not on the football team. You're just gray shirting. It's before red shirting. Now, how else can you have scholarships available? Academic attrition, injuries, and people quit football. People just quit. People don't show up in the fall. They go home. They get homesick. They don't want to be there anymore. You can find scholarships if you need to. Another thing, if you pull somebody's athletic scholarship, which coaches are allowed to do if they're new hires, they can pull a player's scholarship, and the player can stay at the school and keep his academic scholarship and finish out the semester, no cost to him. He doesn't have a football scholarship anymore. You can take it and give it to somebody else, but that player can stay and finish. And USC did that to about 10 players when Lincoln Riley was hired. They cut 10 players from the football team, took back the scholarships, but the players stayed enrolled at the school and finished that semester, got their degree. And now they can transfer as graduate transfers. 2 guys at Colorado are doing that right now. Oh, my God, you ruined Remember the Titans. Sometimes ignorance is bliss. Oh, never that. Never that. Never that. Thoughts on this Colorado-TCU matchup? I've talked about it at length, Rel. I'd recommend you go to my Colorado playlist and watch the playlist and pay attention to what I've said about them. I have a phone notification. Give me a second here, guys. I have a missed call. It's nothing. Great news. My video is suitable for all viewing audiences. If you guys didn't know, a lot of my videos get flagged for some type of violation, and then I have to appeal them, and I just got word. Oh, my God. Yeah, Deuce Vaughn is a stud. If he was a foot taller, he would have been a first-day pick. No, if he was a foot taller, he wouldn't have the same agility, dexterity, and acceleration. He wouldn't have the same balance and, compact design, center of gravity. Jason Lipe, my guy, how are you doing, my man? Checking in while listening to the Best Sports Talk podcast on my way home. Nice work, my man. Thank you very much, Lipe. I appreciate you, brother. Who are some projects that got drafted that actually developed in recent years? Connor, I'm not prepared to answer that question right now. I'd have to go do some research. Who do you consider projects and what? Because they weren't projects to me. They were studs. Hey, Rico, how do you think Russell Wilson will do this year? Better than last year, right? Let's ride. He better stop high-stepping in the plane while everybody else is sleeping. He better stop having his own office and you needing to go through certain people before talking to him. I don't like Russell Wilson for the way he treats his teammates and his elitist attitude. I really don't. And shout out to him for raising Future's kids. NBA lottery is top 14, not 13. Thank you, Connor. It happens. I make mistakes. Do you have predictions on who will win the Heisman, Biletnikoff, etc., and will you post those? Not necessarily, Meta. I do not have any predictions. I can tell you my Heisman dark horse, Braylon Allen. But the winner's going to be a quarterback in the Power 5. Biletnikoff, Dorian Singer looks ideal. So does Jamari Thrash at Louisville. I could do Biletnikoff. I can give you guys a top 5 on that kind of stuff. I just haven't looked into it to that extent. I don't try to look at things like who's going to win an award. Just don't worry about it. James Harden is a chucker who couldn't guard me on defense, trash player. Yeah, Matt, I don't like his defense. I don't like anything about him. Nothing. Never liked him. Don't get ahead of yourself. You wouldn't score a point on Harden. I don't know how big Matt is, but, yeah, I don't think anybody's scoring on Harden. The average person walking around, probably not. Not until he loses interest and tries to eat his way off the team, whatever team he's on. James Harden is not trash. He's just hot garbage. He's fancy garbage, y'all. He's hot garbage. Hey, look, guys, we finished the chat. We talked a lot. I apologize the show was short today. I am going to get back to making more content, more videos. I want to thank you guys for jumping in, getting my opinion on some things. I just want to remind everybody, your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you all. God bless.
Go green. Get the fuck back. I'm about to go green.
When they come, and they will, they'll come for you.
I have an army.
We have a Hulk.
Oh, I thought the beast had won it off.
You're missing the point. There's no throne. There is no version of this where you come out on top.
Let me infiltrate the beat, concentrate the heat. If you ain't on my level, fuck it, let me be. I'll be going till it's all in motion, talking killing rappers, then I hit my quota. And my train of thought is more a locomotive, talking reason for it, I got locomotive. Used to be on a revenge tip, on a stun on my ex and a friend's tip. I was Spider-Man whipping the black suit, I was powerful but almost lost Luke. Blurring the line between human and artist, try not to change but I swear it's the hardest. I swear when you're up they turn you to a target. Home was a trip, all I did when I'm talking. So, what it take to be an icon? All in your desktop, so I just might already be one. My me with the label, it feels on the table one time, but I'm down for a free lunch. Just speaking my heat-seeking missiles of hits, but other than me, I see no heat exists. Yo, gassed up, I'm about to go green, go green, go green. Hulk smash if she know me, know me, know me. Write it to life like I'm Stan Lee, Stan Lee, Stan Lee. If life's about to be a cold war, I'm the hero that they asked for. Green, green, green. I'm about to go green, green, green. I'm about to go green, green, green. I'm about to go green. Get the fuck back, I'm about to go green. I might begin making a feature Iraq. Cause when I hit your beat, I turn shit to Iraq. Dropping bombs like I'm cursing you out. This your house, then I'm kicking you out. Quiet as a mouse, came in the game, not a word is out that I've been lighting the flame. Shit is potent, don't you know it? I've been flowing, steady growing till they know the name.